Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakah, Kudash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect. This is Paya Allah. It's news and prophecy and news. I got an article here from investopedia.com, and the title reads, Countries Developing a Central Bank Digital Currency. Alright, so I'm going to delve right into it. Lord willing, you be edified. A central bank digital currency is a digital form of cash issued by a nation's central bank. Digital forms of currency are already widely used today. When you swipe your debit or credit card, instead of using cash, or when you are paid via direct deposit, the associated financial institution must digitally record the transaction and update your account balance. All right. A CBDC would support systems already established by private financial institutions by issuing a digital fiat currency. The word fiat basically means fake, like it's not real, right? Which this whole monetary system is basically a fake. It's based on fake money. Because when you look on any deal with the pounds, it says on it, I promise to pay the lender or the borrower. I can't remember verbatim, but wherever the note value is, like £20, all right. But pounds is a measurement in weight, all right. So what would it be? It'd be £20 in silver or gold, all right. Which that the backing of money to its original value of precious metals was taken away, all right. So it created a thing known as fiat currency. So it says that has full backing of a central bank. In most countries, the only type of central bank money available to the public are physical banknotes. Right, interest in the CBDCs has skyrocketed in recent years, according to the Atlantic Council, an independent think tank headquartered in Washington, D.C. A total of 87 countries are exploring issuing a CBDC as of March 2022. Less than 2 years prior, in May 2020, just 35 countries were considering a CBDC. All right. This article will focus on some of the largest countries currently developing a CBDC. Now, a CBDC, as it said, central bank digital currency, is not the same as cryptocurrency. All right, cryptocurrency, and this is the beautiful thing about history, man, and time. You know, gradualism, incrementalism. All right, where basically it's a process of change being set in motion through time. All right, through increments, through gradual steps. So the whole thing, that the reason why crypto was a big deal was because it, according to its word, it was cryptic. All right, and technically, when you really delve into it, it could never really be cryptic because it's utilized on a blockchain. All right, which records every movement. So I don't know it. You know, I'm not a tech type of person to the point where I know the intricacies of it, but I do recall being told that if someone really wants to find out, you know, the history of like a cryptocurrency, there's ways to do so. All right, but the point being, the whole selling point of crypto is, according to its name, it being cryptic. All right, which is hidden. All right. So that was a huge selling point where people were allowed to use their money outside of the central bank, all right? And they basically could utilize, you know, finance in a way. It was hedged to, you know, mining, and basically there was no inflation. That was the idea, all right? But now you have it moving to, because of the, what's that word? The volatile nature of cryptocurrency, it not being backed by, you know, a governing body, so they say, you know, and this has happened many times over the course of the last couple of years, where people, you know, get into crypto or, you know, different formats, and basically get swindled out of their money. All right. Because it's not governed by no one. You get all kinds of, and even really, I knew of crypto because of really in the criminal underworld. Not because I'm a criminal, but that's just what it was greatly tied to. Through, you know, when you delve into news and all these kind of things. All right. Anyway, so the point being, now you have central bank digital currency. So they're using the same model of the blockchain, but it's now being backed and governed by the same central banks that issued banknotes. Right. So now they're moving a dollar from a physical form into what? A digital currency. All right. Binary codes on the screen, you know, ones and zeros. The pound moving to a digital base, all right? The euro moving to a digital base. The one moving to a digital base. All these different currencies, the ruble moving to a digital base. So this is what's going on. And the reason why I'm delving into this is because this is showing you how rapidly approaching there's a few prophecies left to come to pass, all right? Read this in the book of Isaiah. 42:9. It reads, "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them." Right? There's former prophecies that have come to pass, outlined within the scriptures, and the things we're seeing come to pass with plagues breaking out, all right? And with the outbreak of plagues, food shortages being the famines, and wars and rumors of wars. These are different prophecies that are playing out presently and are coming to, and they're still playing out and have come to pass already. In and amongst other things like Israel going into captivity, us waking up in the land of America, all right? But there's new things that have to be declared, and there's a few key prophecies that have to be declared, all right? The main one being that I'm harping on in this is the mark, all right, the charagma, all right, and this is forming a foundation for the charagma to come to pass, and these things being shown are speaking to that, all right. So it says this article will focus on some of the largest countries currently developing a CBDC. Key takeaways: the number of countries considering launching a CBDC has soared in the past 2 years. Russia and India have already launched pilot CBDCs that are currently being tested. The US has no set plans to issue a CBDC, but the Federal Reserve recently invited the public to begin an open discussion about the value of CBDC in the US. 9 countries have fully launched a CBDC, all right? So this is India. Now, the key thing being is that America, even though they're saying they're not going to form one, that's one of the key things, because all of these, remember, this is things leading to the mark being established, all right? Not, the CBDC isn't the mark itself, but it's forming the infrastructure, you know, basically to allow that technology of the mark, you know, people being implanted, you know, having a what's the word, subdermal, let me just keep it simple, man, having an implant placed upon them, man, all right. So it says, in February 2022, India's finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced that the Reserve Bank of India will introduce a digital rupee sometime in the 2022 to 2023 financial year, which begins April 1st, 2022. Right, so that's this time we're in right now. All right, it sticks to its plans. India will be one of the largest economies to issue a CBDC. So I'm not going to delve into all of it. You can read it. Russia. The Bank of Russia first announced plans to launch a digital ruble in October 2017. The country's central bank stated that a CBDC would reduce the cost of payment services, promote competition among financial institutions, provide a convenient means of payment to its citizens in territories which limited access to financial infrastructure and decreased Russia's independence on the US dollar, which we're seeing, which they implemented as of late, the tying the ruble to gold, all right, because it spiraled out of control in terms of value, all right, and then they pinned it to gold, and now they're saying, and obviously to increase the value, I'd guess, by pinning it to gold and asking for the people to fulfill, or everyone that buys energy from them to fulfill payment in rubles, it would embolden their currency and make it stronger and give Russia more standing within the world, the geopolitical world, all right. Brazil has been exploring ATM. Notice how all these countries that have so far been mentioned belong to the BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Right, well, 3 of them so far. Brazil has been exploring a CBDC since at least 2020, after the successful rollout of PIX, an instant payment system created by Brazil's central bank. There have been 7 billion transactions completed, with more than 60% of the adult population counted as PIX users. Right. Babylon the Great. Right. The United States. Although the United States has no confirmed plans to launch digital currency, the Federal Reserve Bank has expressed interest in CBDCs. In January 2022, the Fed released a much-anticipated report providing an economic context and weighing the benefits and risks of CBDCs. This report, was described by the Fed as a first step in issuing a CBDC. All right. Let's go to the bottom line. Total 9 countries have already launched CBDCs, 8 of which are located in the Caribbean. Nigeria, which launched the e-Naira in October 2021, is the largest country to issue a CBDC. All right, their population, and this is what the continent of Africa, they greatly misrepresented on the map. But in that country alone, man, there's 320 million people, man. All right, a great population, and there's an abundance of wealth. So there's a great pulling power that the nation has, Nigeria. All right, especially with resources and things of that nature. Right. As cash transactions become increasingly rare and more countries evaluate the benefits of digital currency, the number of central banks issuing digital fiat will only increase. For full list of countries and their CBDC status, visit Atlantic Council CBDC tracker. Right, so the main point is that there's been leaps and bounds made to establish this technology, right, which is going to lead to a time like never before. All right, so I'm going to read the scripture. I'll get straight to the point. Revelations 13 and 16. And he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So yeah, man, this is what we're heading to, man, and it is heading very quickly. This is Revelations 12 and 12, which reads, Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth they have but a short time. Right now, presently, you got the queen on her last legs. You have all these old money, the elites of Esau, Edom, basically dying out, all right? And they want to see the end of this current infrastructure give way for the new world order. And that's what we're rapidly seeing with these things. So the time is short, man. All right. Maybe I should read that. Okay. This is 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none, and they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the fashion of the world